is. It's Elle with RRozelles Creations, and welcome back to my channel. This week we are going to be learning how to recreate a quad V-split using painter's tape. I get asked all the time, Elle, how in the hell can you tape off a tumbler like that? And I'm just going to be honest. It's a lot of repositioning. It's a lot of moving it around to get it right. I just don't give up, and I keep trying. Keep trying till I get it right. Sometimes I don't want to use my Cricut and cut out templates. I have a quad V-split template, but I like taping my tumblers off. I like getting down and dirty with adhesive and glitter. Yes, the double-sided adhesives are easier, but I think glitters look so much better and pop when you are using good adhesives. So, thanks everyone for the likes, subscribes, and shares. We are growing over here, and I could not be more excited. You can find everything down below in the description box with a discount code and a direct link. Also, don't want to really announce it, but be on the lookout because a podcast. I have been wanting to drop a podcast, and we will be starting it here. Yeah, y'all like how I just threw that in there? But yeah, Real Talks with Elle. I don't know what we're going to name it yet. Working on it with my subscribers. So, hey, y'all ready to get in this quad V-split? Let's get it. All right, so first things first. What size tape are you using, Elle? I am using the Duck brand painter's tape, and this is the 0.94 by 60 yards. Here it is. I'm learning all kinds of new editing things. But anywho, I always start in the back of my tumbler. I will start at the top and the back. I will lay my first stripe, and then I'm going to go in with my second piece of tape, and we are going to make a point. And sometimes the point works, and sometimes it doesn't. You just have to adjust it until you get it right. So we're going to start by making that point and laying our painter's tape flat to see if we are meeting up. And as you can see, we're not. So now this is where we start peeling it off, repositioning it until we get it right. So I am going to overlap my tape right here at the front now to get my V, and then I'm going to roll the tumbler and lay my tape around the back. Now see, now watch. We don't have that precise point anymore. So we're going to peel that other piece of tape. We're going to overlap it and get it just right. So many ask me, Elle, how do you do it? I am showing you step by step how long it takes me to get this tape laid down. I'm not perfect by no means. I just make things work, and this shows that tutorials and short videos, you don't get to see all the behind the scenes stuff. So now you do. Let's move on to the second V. Now, I started at my overlap on the front, and I'm working my way around the back. You will see what I mean right here. We're going to overlap, and I am using the overlap from the top V to measure out how far I want my V's apart. I don't use rulers. We eyeball it. So now, there's my V. I use my finger a lot as my guide to make sure that we are getting these V's straight. You can see it all in real time. Now, my second V was a little bit off, and this is just a simple trick that I learned. If you peel up your tape and change the overlap, that's all that needs to happen with your V. See? I had the left piece of tape overlapping the right, and it wasn't lining up, so I lifted it up and overlapped the right over the left. I hope that makes sense. Now we're going to go in with the third V, and I start at the bottom, rolling my tumbler until I get the tape laid down how I want it. Same thing as the first two. And now I am going to overlap that second piece of tape and try to line it up with that middle V. You can see the finger. We got it lined up, but now we got to see what it looks like in the front. And it was a perfect match. So we are going to keep it that way. Now I am going to speed it up while I get all the excess tape trimmed off. And up next is how I tape off the bottom of the tumbler, because this is a 32-ounce Plump from Tipsy Magnolia, and we will be learning how to do a glitter booty during this tutorial. So let's get it. overnight, we are going to get another piece of painter's tape, and we are going to go right above where we trimmed that bottom V, and we are going to roll this tape around the tumbler. This is going to give us a nice exposed area of stainless steel, because this will be the seal for our tumbler. I've been using the bottom to seal my tumblers here lately, and I am really enjoying doing it this way. It looks cleaner in my opinion. And now it's time to glitter. So the glitters that we are using is Scorpion, Virgo, Champagne, and Pearl, all from PDB Creative Studios. I added the discount codes on screen for this tutorial, but they will also be down below with a direct link. I did not base paint this tumbler. We are going straight in over the stainless steel using Adhesive Apothecary's thick glitter glue. And I could have got away with doing one coat, as you can see right here, how vibrant this glitter is, but I really wanted to pop, so I went directly in with the second coat using my heat gun, drying in between. This process is sped up because we'd be here for 30-40 minutes. Once I get my glitter colors laid how I want them, we are going to remove all that painter's tape we laid down, because that's going to be where all of my white goes. And I want my white to be crispy and clean. See how crisp the lines are? You can do this in any color you want to do. This tumbler actually got donated to the American Legion in my area, and the basket I donated was patriotic themed, so this fit. Once I get my glitters all laid out, I let it dry overnight, and then we go in with Adhesive Apothecary's binding potion. This is a sealer, and we are going to seal all this glitter in. Like I said, I did speed these processes up because we would have been here forever. But this sealer is the best sealer, hands down. I use it on everything. And you're going to see, this glitter did not move, did not budge. Here it is after sealing. I let it dry overnight before going in with 2 coats of epoxy. Not a bit of that glitter moved. So let's epoxy. I mixed up about 40 ml of DIY Speedy Petey Ultra UV, and I applied a pretty thick coat. And what I love about the binding potion is I am using less epoxy, and my epoxy does not sink into my glitter like it normally would. Once I get the epoxy laid down, I am going to rip that bottom piece of tape off so this can dry, and then I go in directly with another coat. Before we start striping this bad boy, look how pretty. No glitter movement, no nothing, y'all. We're just moving right along. Like I said, once I do the 2 coats of epoxy, once it is dry, I will get some alcohol on a paper towel, and I will wipe this tumbler down to make sure that it is not sticky and it is cured perfectly. If that tumbler gives you any resistance when you're wiping it with alcohol, 9 times out of 10, it's not cured properly, so make sure you're checking that before moving on. The striping that I am using is from Teckwrap Crafts. Everything will be listed down below and right here on the screen. I always want to go all out with my striping, so there is no rhyme or reason. But I am using this metallic red, and I am outlining the gold. I then went in with the royal blue, and I striped around the red V's. And then once I get all of my striping, my vinyl laid down, I like to add another color vinyl, and I call it a stack. I like to stack my striping. And on the red and the blue, I stacked a chrome. My red and blue striping are 0.15 by 11.5. And my chrome and white striping that I decided to use was 0.05 by 11.5. Once I get done with the striping, I will seal my stripes up with binding potion, letting that dry overnight before going in with 1 coat of epoxy before doing the glitter booty. I did a lot of this off camera, so I did not record the sealing process. Here I was epoxying multiple tumblers, so I did mix up a big batch of DIY epoxy Speedy Petey Ultra UV, but I used about 25 ml to cover my striping. I let it spin out and dry for a couple of hours before going in and doing the glitter booty. Y'all ready to get into that? I really love how this tumbler came out. Here it is after that coat of epoxy. It looks so good. And no glitter movement. No glitter movement. I was so worried about the white. But let's get into the glitter booty. So these plumps from Tipsy Magnolia, you can remove that bottom and decorate the booty. I just love it. I just started using these tumblers and I love them. I really do. So I am just removing any epoxy that went over the bottom before getting started with adding our glitter and UV resin. Let's do the booty. So I took Scorpion and Virgo, the same that we used on the tumbler, and that's what we're going to put in the bottom. I am going in with PDB Creative Studios UV resin. I put about 15 ml of resin in each medicine cup, and then we add the glitter and get it mixed up all good in that UV resin. We're going to speed this part up. There is no rhyme or reason to do this. Just use glitter colors that match whatever colors you use on your tumbler. Do a thinner mixture because it is easier to fill in that tight circle. So I went in with Virgo around the outer edge. And then once I get that filled, I try to get it filled to that inner lip. I go in with Scorpion, that red. And I did have to mix just a little bit more. Totally okay. To dump in there and make it flush with the blue. Some of the blue spilled into the red, but I was able to fix it. I hit it with the propane torch to remove the bubbles. Look at that. And then we are going to hit it with the UV light for a total of 2 minutes. And then the next day I put it outside in the sunlight for a little bit before I went into final coats. I did 2 final coats of epoxy over this tumbler, and here it is. I just love how it came out. And it went to a great cause. I'm waiting to find out how much it brought in, but it doesn't matter because it was still fun to create. I really hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching. All the love doesn't go unnoticed and is appreciated. As always, let's get it and do it scared.